years ago, Jean Chrétien was leader of the Liberal Party and Prime Minister of Canada. Wikipedia camera phones was just US experienced the longest electrical blackout ever. SARS was identified globally as the first pandemic. Spring of 2003, Pre-Loved and IWAT were making their own history. 8 years earlier, Julia Grieve, my niece, she's sitting right here and you'll be hearing from her, had opened a store on Queen Street West called Pre-Loved. From pre-used clothing, fashion pieces. IWAT members gathered for the co-op. We would have returned there today, but apparently it's not there anymore. But a pair of blue jeans that had been crafted from 3 pairs of used jeans. They were very cool. And my daughter and my granddaughter were models. Mallory, who unfortunately is in Norway, and so was her daughter. And we often laugh about how cool we were. And my son's fiance was working for Netflix. Today, she's Canadian marketing director for Hearing Life, and she's brought a gift for each of us from there. We are all 22 years older, and somehow Hearing Life seems. So Anna, stand up, the head of Hearing Life right now. IWAT is still growing strong. You will soon see 7 the current pre-loved fashions. And stronger. This year, she will have all of her 3 children at university. She never sits down. Is she sitting? That's unusual. And she does not walk, she runs. Her mother, my sister Peggy, is a guest today. So you stand up. So Pre-Loved has just celebrated its 30th birthday. Her own story. She will enlighten us on how her career has evolved.
All right, can you hear me okay? Is that good? Yes, thank you. My name is Julia Grieve, and I'm the founder of Pre-Loved. And more importantly today, I am Helen Shaw's niece. 2 years ago in the fashion show. It's amazing how things just circle back around. It's kind of like Pre-Loved itself. Now I call myself the accidental environmentalist, Because when I started Pre-Loved 30 years ago, clearly I was 5 at the time. With scissors is what I always say. But I wasn't thinking about saving the planet. The planet was an accident, but one of the most positive accidents that you could ever imagine. Now, Pre-Loved is built and was built on renovation. We take vintage clothing, we deconstruct it, we turn it into fabric, and then we use that fabric to create the collection. We also work with dead stock material. So what a dead stock material is, roll of fabric, maybe they have a meter left over, maybe 10, maybe 100. Traditionally, those would be thrown out, and we would rescue that and use that fabric. Cotton. Fabric was recycled yarn. So that's something pretty cool that we've been working with. But we've been doing this, as Helen says, since 1995, long before sustainability was a buzzword. Today, Pre-Loved has been sold in over 400 boutiques worldwide, and we've collaborated with some of the largest retailers in the world. Urban Outfitters, the Bay, 7 or 8 times a year. In Toronto. And all of our vintage materials are also sourced locally. 100,000 wool sweaters, 20,000 t-shirts, 20,000 pairs of pants, wool pants, cotton t-shirts, all of these items that are pretty much destined for landfill. Find 100,000 sweaters. Well, they come from a place called a rag house, which is one of the oldest forms of textile recycling. And once it's sorted, it then becomes a commodity. Now, who knew that? Not I, 30 years ago. One of the biggest turning points in Pre-Loved, as you go through 3 decades of creating fashion in Canada, one of the biggest ones was, and I remember it exactly, was the 2008 Toronto Fashion Week. And we had a fire at our store on Queen West. And we ended up having the samples, and we showed that collection during Fashion Week. And it was every single piece of clothing on the runway was made from vintage clothing. Every single piece. Leg warmers, handbags, sweaters, skirts, dresses. There was not a piece of new fabric, new textile anywhere in that entire collection. It was picked up by Holtz that year, right across the country. It was a pretty amazing collection, but it became where we really evolved. There's so many more things that we can do. So that's when we started to change and look at different ways that we could manufacture. This definitely helped us upscale the brand, create a new audience, just by working with different fabrics like the dead stocks and things like that, was able to change the collection. One in Montreal and one in Vancouver. Fashion industry. If you can get somebody to come in on a Saturday afternoon and use their hard-earned money to buy something you've made, there's not a feeling like that in the world. But things are changing, and our customers are changing, and how we shop has changed as well. To close those stores, but it was something that needed to happen. And it's very funny to see how my world has changed. At one point, I'm on the retail floor all the time. Now I'm on Instagram. Our photographer studio in our office is larger than our design studio. We lost a lot of key beginning, but we've evolved, and as I say, I continue to age, but my staff does not. They're still all in their 20s, and it's exciting to work with launched a brand new beauty brand. And I think you all got a lip gloss from that brand. It's called Change Beauty. It is more than a cosmetic company. We are advocates of self-love and empowerment. We are redefining beauty standards by celebrating the natural signs of change. Because as far as we're concerned, it is not just aging, it is changing, and change is good. The entire collection is available at and it was just a labor of love to get it from a vision to fruition, and that launched this May. So that's very exciting. There is a quote that I live by, and my kids are like, oh, Mom, we've heard it so long, I get it. But it is something that I've run my business by, and it is how I run my life. And I always say, I don't even know where I originally heard it. It was either in a Bob Dylan song or written on a bathroom wall. But it is, if you are not busy growing, then you are busy dying. So it is important to focus on growth. And after 3 decades, we are still growing, still evolving, and so excited to see what is coming next. So thank you very much for having me here today, and I am so excited to show you Pre-Love's 30th anniversary collection. And that is what you're going to see today. Again, we have supermodels in the house. So feel free to make them feel comfortable. If you have any questions about the collection as well, everything is available at pre.com.
That's how you do it.
That's how we're doing.